Welcome to our lesson on organizational behavior. Today we will be focusing on models of organizational behavior. In this lesson we are going to focus on the meaning of the model of organizational behavior, need for models of organizational behavior, foundations of organizational behavior models, models of organizational behavior and important considerations we need to make to adopt a particular model of organizational behavior. These things we shall discuss. The purpose of studying organizational behavior model is to describe, predict how individuals, groups and organizational structure influence behavior within an organization. A study of organizational behavior model gives us a framework for understanding. It gives us predictive power, guide for action and evolution of thought. Organizational behavior models are framework that describe and predict how individuals, groups and organization structure influence behavior within an organization. These organization behavior model, they provide a lens through which managers can understand workplace dynamics and develop effective strategies to improve productivity, job satisfaction and overall organizational effectiveness. As we have told you, understanding of these organizational behavior models, they help us to have frameworks for understanding. They offer a structured way to think about the interactions and behaviors that occur in the organization. They give us predictive power by understanding the underlying assumptions of different models that managers can better anticipate how employees might respond to various situations and management practices. They help us to guide for action. These models can inform the development of HR policies, management styles and organization structures to create a more positive and productive work environment. These models are developed based on evolution of thought. Different models have emerged over time reflecting changes in management philosophy and a deeper understanding of human behavior. So, we can say organizational behavior models, they help us to have a framework for understanding the organization. They provide us a predictive power and they help us to guide for action and we need to understand they help us to evolve a thinking regarding our organizations. Now, need for OB models, organization behavior models. Number one, to provide an understanding regarding workplace dynamics. They help us to predict the behavior. They help us to guide regarding management practices. They improve our communication skill. They provide a positive work organizational culture. They facilitate change management and they help us to enhance employee engagement and motivation. They help us to have informed, improved decision making. OB models, they help us to resolve conflicts in the organization. Ultimately, they boost the overall performance of the organization and to carry forward this organization, we need to develop leadership skills and these OB models, they help us to develop these leadership skills. Now, we shall focus on these organization behavior models. These organization behavior models, they provide a roadmap for creating effective, engaging and successful organization by focusing on human elements with them. They move beyond simply managing tasks to understanding and influencing the behavior that drive the organizational and enable to achieve organizational outcomes. The foundations of organizational behaviors. Organization behavior models rest upon a confluence of fundamental elements drawn from various behavior and social sciences. These foundations, they provide the bedrock for understanding, predicting and influencing human behavior within organizational setting. The foundations of organization behavior are based on several disciplines like psychology, sociology, social psychology, anthropology. From psychology, we have borrowed individual differences, motivation, learning, attitudes, perception, job satisfaction and decision making. Based on these, we are trying to build our way of understanding about people, our way of building our own models. We are based on psychology. Not only based on psychology, even we have considered social psychology, some of the aspects based on which we have built our own way of understanding, our own behavior models. They include group dynamics, leadership, communication, attitudes and change and persuasion. Besides these things, we have borrowed several elements from sociology too, like the structure of the organization, social systems, culture and norms. These things we have borrowed in order to build our models to understand organizational behavior. Apart from these things, we have borrowed elements like organization culture and the influence of culture on organization from a discipline that is known as anthropology. With the help of these things, we have built models of organizational behavior. Now, we shall focus on the meaning of organizational behavior model. So far, we have discussed why organizational behavior models are required, the foundations of organizational behavior model. Now, we are going to discuss the meaning of organizational behavior models. Organization behavior models are frameworks that describe and predict how individuals, groups and organization structure influence our behavior within an organization. These models, they provide a lens through which managers can understand workplace dynamics and develop effective strategies to improve productivity, job satisfaction and overall organizational effectiveness. Many models of organization behavior have appeared during the last 100 years, but 4 of them are significantly important. They have achieved lot of significance and over a period of time a few more are added. A famous writer by name Keith Davis considers autocrat model, custodial model, supportive model and collegial model, they are important. Over a period of time, we try to add systems model also. Further, the other models that are added are relating to contingency model. The order mentioned, these models represent an historical evolution of management thought. The autocratic model predominated 75 years ago. From the year 1920 to 1930, it yielded ground to the more successful custodial model. In this generation, the supportive model is gaining lot of approval. Several organizations adopt custodial model and probably still that model prevails in the whole society. Meanwhile, a number of advanced organizations are experimenting with the collegial model. The 5 models are there. I think we try to give in the form of a diagram: autocrat model, custodial model, supportive model and systems model. Now, we are going to discuss about these models. Autocrat model relies on power and authority. Management make decisions and employees are expected to obey. The focus is on the manager's control. Custodial model focus on providing economic security and benefits to foster loyalty and dependence on the organization. In the case of supportive model, the emphasis is on leadership that supports and motivates employees, focusing on building positive relationships and providing opportunities for growth. In the case of collegial model, views of employee are considered. Employees are viewed as partners who work collaboratively towards common goals, emphasizing teamwork and shared responsibility. Systems model considers that the entire organization is a complex one, interconnected one, emphasizing the importance of a positive culture, employee environment, employee well-being and adaptability. So, this is how we try to differentiate between these 5 models. Now, we shall have a detailed discussion on these 5 models. In the case of autocrat model, the basis is power and authority. Management has the primary power to command and control employees. The managerial orientation is authority. Managers make decisions and expect employees to obey. And the employee's orientation is obedience to boss. Employees are expected to follow orders implicitly without questioning their boss. Further, employees' psychological result, dependence on the boss. Employees rely on management for direction and may feel less sense of ownership. The type of employees' needs met are subsistence, because management focuses on basic needs only and everything is linked to wages and things are made in order to ensure compliances. The ultimate performance result, if we consider, it is minimal. Employees typically do just in order to avoid punishment. And where can we apply this model? Say, where decision making has to be quick and where authority is centralized, we can apply. Where a clear cut communication is required, where disclosure of policies and procedures are required, we can apply. A simple example that we can give, this can be applied in traditional factory settings with strict rules and regulations, and employees have little to no output in decision making. There we can apply. Then the next one is custodial model. In the case of custodial model, economic resources and security are the basis. Organizations, they provide benefits and security in order to motivate these employees. Managerial orientation is focused on money and benefits. Management focuses on providing for employees' economic well-being. Employee orientation is security and benefits. Employees are motivated by financial rewards and job security. And employee psychological need, if we consider, their dependence is on the organization and they become more comfortable, less inclined to take any initiative because their security needs are met. The employees' needs that are met, as I told you, the security needs, It addresses the need for safety and stability, and consequently the performance is the passive cooperation from employees. Employees may be satisfied but not highly motivated to excel. Then we can say this model can be applied in those jobs where people need job security and employee satisfaction is required, and where we have to reduce employee turnover and absenteeism. The examples of the organization where this is applied is companies which provide generous benefits and packages, and they provide more on job security. In other words, there are companies, they want to treat their people well rather than using them well. Then we shall see the supportive model. In the case of supportive model, the basis is on leadership and support. Management focuses on supporting employees' job performance and growth. The managerial orientation is support and encouraging employees. These managers, they become leaders, they act like coaches and facilitators. And the employee orientation happens to be job performance and participation. Employees are encouraged to contribute and take responsibility. Then employee psychological results that are met is participation and involvement. If we consider Maslow's hierarchy need, the sense of belongingness and contribution, those needs are met. Employee needs are met regarding status and recognition. Consequently, if we focus or if we consider the performance, it is awakened drives, employees are more motivated, a little more engaged, and leading to improved performance. And where can we apply? Where employees need high morale and job satisfaction, where employees can be encouraged to be more innovative and creative, in those organizations we can apply. There are organizations which emphasize on employee development, teamwork and empowerment. These organizations, they apply this particular model. Then we will focus on collegial model, and the basis is on partnership. They consider employees as co-worker, as a part of the team. The emphasis is on mutual trust and respect between management and employees. The managerial orientation is a teamwork and collaboration. Managers foster a sense of partnership and shared goal. Employees orientation, responsible behavior and self-discipline. Employees feel a sense of ownership and accountability. Employee psychological result, the self-discipline, a feeling of contribution. Employees take responsibility for their work and their team success. The needs that are met through this model are self-actualization, addresses the need for growth, achievement and fulfillment. If we consider in the performance, moderate enthusiasm, employees are committed and contribute actively. Where can we apply this model? Where high level of employees engagement and commitment required, where we need to foster a sense of ownership and responsibility, where we need to have creativity and innovation through collaborative effort. Especially we apply these things in the case of project-based organizations and startups, we can apply this model. Then we can say systems model. The basis is, it is an integration of all organizational elements and a sense of belongingness. It focuses on creating a positive organization culture and aligning individual organization goals. The managerial orientation is caring and compassion. Management shows genuine concern for employee well-being and fostering trust. I think previously in one of the models we were telling they treat people well, but in this model they try to make use of the talents of people. And the employees' orientation, self-motivation, commitment to organization goals, employees feel valued and understand their role of the larger system. Employee psychological result is self-motivation and a sense of belonging. Employees are driven by intrinsic factors and connected to organizational mission. In this model, the higher order needs which were enunciated by Abraham Maslow are met, like esteem, autonomy and self-actualization. Ultimately, it results in greater performance, full enthusiasm, commitment. Employees are highly engaged and perform at their best. Now, where can we apply this particular model? A comprehensive understanding of organizational dynamics where it is required, there we can apply, because it promotes continuous improvement, innovation among employees. And we can apply in those organizations which have strong ethical value and which focus on employee well-being, and where a clear sense of purpose of companies within the strong corporate social responsibility initiatives are there. In such type of organizations we can apply. Besides these things, there are a few other models like human value model. In the human model, it gives more importance to human model, and this model is opposite to that of fuel model like autocrat model. In this model, the employees were well appreciated than economic value. Employees are not considered like a raw material, but the human being or the being human that is given lot of significance in this model. Employees working in an organization work to fulfill social and psychological needs rather than focusing on economic needs only. Therefore, in this model, the human dignity is given utmost importance. Besides all these things, we will also focus on contingency model. It is a complex model. What works in one situation may not work in the other situation. The contingency model of organization behavior, it assumes that there are several variables that impact the organization like individual, group and organization structure. Therefore, this model meets all the challenges for the growth of the organization. And remember, there is a theory propounded by William Auchi which he talks about theory Z, and where he gives a lot of emphasis to contingency model. So, contingency model is also known as hybrid model. Contingency model guarantees that promotion and long-term employment opportunities for the employees work in the organization. Now, having discussed so many models, we need to think which model is good. We need to have certain important consideration. Remember, these models, they have evolved over a period of time. Management practices generally evolved from autocrat model to supportive, collegial and systems model, reflecting societal changes and a deeper understanding of human behavior. Remember, these models are evolving. The evolving nature of models of organizational behavior makes it evident that change is the norm and conditions of these models. Then the second thing is, our understanding regarding human behavior increases and new social conditions develop. Even these models, they are likely to change. Remember, it is a grave mistake to assume that one particular model is best model which will endure in the long run. Remember one more thing, there is no single best model. The most effective model often depends on situation, organization culture, industry and the characteristics of the employees. I was sharing with you the elements of the organization: task, structure, technology, people, strategy, environment. All these things will influence the model that we are employing. The leader holds to an outdated model, his success will be as committed and his job will become harder, because he will not be able to work with his people as he should be. Therefore, sometimes we need to have hybrid approaches. We have to blend different models depending on the situation. Then the underlying assumptions, when we go through these models, each model rests on different assumptions about people. Theory X, theory Y, which are propounded by Douglas McGregor, and they talk about say negative thinking or positive thinking about human behavior. But theory X thinking, theory Y thinking, they have heavily influenced our organization behavior models. Further, Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs also influenced. Then again, as society changes, as we climb to the higher order needs, our behavior models, they do undergo change. The number of persons assume that emphasis on one model of organization behavior was automatically rejection of other models, but that is not correct. The present tendency is to be more democratic model of organization behavior. It will continue for some more time or for a longer time. This tendency seems to be required by both the nature of technology and the nature of the need structure. These models are not distinct in the sense that a manager or a firm uses only one of them. In a week or even a day, a manager probably he may use all the 4 models. He may use one model in one situation, he may use another model in another situation in another department also. So, the conclusion what all we can say is the task, structure, technology, people and also the environment, they decide the model that we employ. One of the writers says that the models are depending on the situation. So, this is the use of different management practices according to the task. They perform what is called management according to the task. Thank you.